Take a deep breath, and let's begin. Today, I want to speak with you in a very real, very human way. Not as a teacher or a philosopher, but as another mind living in this unpredictable world, trying to understand what it means to see clearly. We live in a time where our minds are constantly in motion, not just active, but noisy. The mind is like a radio that doesn't know how to turn itself off. It plays one channel after another: anxiety, imagination, old memories, future fears, arguments we never had, arguments we should have had, arguments we hope never to have. And in the middle of all this noise, something simple, something obvious, something profoundly true gets forgotten. You are the source of awareness. Your thoughts are only movements within it. This is why suffering begins the moment you start arguing with your thoughts. Think of it. Have you ever won a single argument with your mind? You can't. Because the mind is both the attacker and the defender. It hits and then it dodges. It tells a story and then questions that same story. It promises, it threatens, it doubts, it convinces, it confuses, it scares, it seduces, it lies, and then it tries to fix the lies it created. Why? Because that is what the conditioned mind does. And yet, this conditioned mind is not you. You are the space in which all of this happens. You are the open sky. Thoughts are only passing clouds, sometimes dark, sometimes bright, sometimes heavy, sometimes meaningless. But the sky itself never argues with the clouds. Most people live as if the cloud is more real than the sky. I want you to reflect on this right now. How many of your fears came true exactly the way your mind predicted? How many arguments in your head ever resolved anything in your real life? How many times have you rehearsed pain that never actually happened? Most of what your mind creates is distortion, a projection, a habit, a pattern. But the source, the awareness behind the pattern, remains untouched. You see, the mind is a storyteller, and like all storytellers, it exaggerates. It colors reality with past experiences, with wounds that didn't heal completely, with fears learned from childhood, with desires the world told you to chase. And because you've heard these stories for so long, you start believing you are the story. But a story cannot breathe. A story cannot love. A story cannot feel silence. You can. Because you are not the content of consciousness. You are consciousness itself. To understand this deeply, simply observe one moment of your life. Imagine you're walking, and a thought appears. They don't like me. Another thought arises. I'll fail. Then another. What if something goes wrong? Now watch what happens inside you. The body tightens, breath becomes shallow, emotions react as if the thought is already reality. But notice, the original event never happened. The body is responding not to life, but to imagination. This is the distortion. A thought has no power unless you give it energy. The moment you argue with it, resist it, fight it, or fear it, you feed it. It grows stronger. It becomes real. Not because it is real, but because your attention is real. Imagine someone walking up to you holding a mirror that reflects a distorted image. If you stay calm, you will see the distortion and smile. But if you panic, if you react emotionally, if you wrestle with the reflection, you become trapped by your own misunderstanding. Thoughts are just mirrors. They show you fragments, pieces, impressions, never the whole truth. When you stop arguing, when you simply observe the thought as a movement of the mind, something incredible happens. The thought dissolves. The energy behind it returns to silence. The story collapses, and what remains is truth. Simple, quiet, undeniable. Awareness is your natural state. You were born aware. You did not have thoughts when you first opened your eyes as a baby. You had pure perception, pure presence, pure being. Thoughts came later, as tools, useful tools, until they began using you. So how do we return to this natural clarity? Not by controlling thoughts, because control is another form of conflict. Not by escaping thoughts, because escape is fear. Not by replacing negative thoughts with positive ones, because that only creates another layer of illusion. The way is beautifully simple. Listen without resistance. Observe without judgment. Allow without attachment. When a thought arises, meet it the way you'd meet a guest at your doorway. Politely, gently, but without inviting it to live with you. Oh, here is fear. I see you. Oh, here is doubt. You're familiar. Oh, here is anger. I know this energy. And then remain still. Do nothing. Let the thought pass through you instead of into you. In that openness, something extraordinary unfolds. You begin to sense the vastness of your own awareness, a stillness so deep that the mind becomes small in comparison. Its stories lose their power. Its noise loses its authority. You realize the mind is not the ruler of your life. It is only an aspect of it. And when the mind realizes you are no longer blindly reacting, something profound shifts. Thoughts become quieter. Emotions soften before they fully form. Fear loses its grip. You begin to live in the present rather than survive in imagination. When you stop arguing with your thoughts, you reclaim your energy. Life becomes simpler. Your actions become clearer. Your relationships become more honest because you're no longer speaking from reaction but from awareness. Even your mistakes become easier to correct because you see them as facts, not as personal failures. Fear, chaos, misalignment, all of it dissolves when you return to the source. Just imagine living one full day without arguing with your own mind. No inner debate, no self-attack, no emotional rehearsals, no imaginary scenarios. Just this moment, meeting life directly. You would taste freedom. A freedom that is not given by society, not granted by spirituality, not learned from books, but discovered within yourself. Slowly, you understand that awareness is not something you practice. It is what you already are. Thoughts appear inside awareness. The body moves inside awareness. Breath happens inside awareness. Even the feeling of me, the identity, appears inside awareness. So what does it mean to be the source, not the distortion? It means recognizing that you are the light and thoughts are only passing shadows. You are the ocean and thoughts are waves rising and falling. You are the eternal witness, and the mind is only a momentary movement in that witness. This understanding is not philosophical. It is deeply practical. Every argument you've ever had in your head, every fear, every obsessive thought, every insecurity, all of it comes from forgetting your true position. You are the observer, not the content. You are awareness, not the noise within it. Sit with this. Let this truth settle into your being. There's nothing to become, only something to realize. There is nothing to fight, only something to see clearly. There is nothing to gain, only something to stop confusing. And when you stop confusing the distortion for the source, life becomes extraordinarily fresh. Your senses awaken, your presence deepens, your decisions become effortless. Your relationships become more truthful. Your purpose becomes clear, not because the mind figured it out, but because you removed the fog that obscured it. In this stillness, life unfolds naturally. You are not rushing. You are not calculating. You are not performing. You are simply being, fully, wholly, unapologetically. This is what it means to stop arguing with your thoughts. This is what it means to remember your true nature. This is what it means to live as the source, not the distortion. So as we come to the end of this journey, I want you to gently remind yourself, Not as an affirmation, not as a belief, but as a direct recognition. I am the awareness in which the mind appears. I do not need to fight my thoughts. I do not need to become anything. I am already whole. I am the source. And from that place, the world becomes lighter, quieter, and infinitely more beautiful. Breathe, witness, and let yourself return to the truth that has always been here. Thank you for listening.